and etched with unknown markings and symbols. The object now known as the Buga Sphere has become the center of a growing mystery.
In March 2025, a metallic sphere roughly the size of a soccer ball allegedly crashed through power lines in the rural Colombian town of Buga. Within weeks, viral videos claimed it contained fiber-optic wiring, 18 internal microspheres, and elements unknown to the periodic table. They claimed it responded to Sanskrit chants. They claimed it was 12,000 years old. And then, the biggest claim of all, that Google's quantum computer had decoded its internal structure and found something godlike. Here's what actually happened. Google did build the most powerful quantum processor in history. It is called Willow, and what it can do is genuinely terrifying. But it has never been pointed at the Buga Sphere. It has never decoded a single artifact. And the real science behind both the sphere and the quantum chip is more fascinating than anything the internet fabricated. Because one of these stories is a carefully constructed hoax, and the other is a legitimate revolution in physics. And by the end of this video, you will know exactly which is which. Let's dive in. The Buga Sphere. Every claim laid out. Let's start with the claims, because the claims are spectacular. According to fringe researchers and viral media, on March 2, 2025, an object weighing 4.5 pounds fell from the sky in Buga, Colombia. Within weeks, promoters asserted that this sphere was composed of a 95% aluminum-titanium alloy containing trace elements unknown to the periodic table. No welds, no seams, no manufacturing marks of any kind. Mexican journalist Jaime Maussan held a press conference at UNAM, the National Autonomous University of Mexico, claiming X-ray scans revealed a central chip or nucleus, 18 internal microspheres, and complex fiber-optic-like wiring. Dr. Stephen Greer announced the University of Georgia had carbon-dated organic resin found inside 31 microscopic holes on the sphere to 12,560 years ago, placing it squarely in the Younger Dryas period. And then the behavioral claims. The sphere allegedly responds to frequencies between 190 and 300 Hz. It supposedly reacts to Sanskrit chants. It emits low-frequency signals at 2.3 Hz. It caused a complete die-off of soil moisture in a surrounding decaying ionized field, and its weight reportedly fluctuated from 4.5 pounds to over 22 pounds over the course of several weeks. Now here is where we pause and say something very clearly. Every single one of these claims is unverified. There is zero peer-reviewed evidence supporting any of them. And the methodology draws direct parallels to the debunked alien mummies of Peru, which forensic archaeologists later proved were modern fabrications constructed from animal bones and synthetic glue. What's actually inside ancient stone spheres? Now see, here's the thing. There are real ancient spheres, and they are genuinely extraordinary, but they have nothing to do with what fell in Buga. The benchmark is the Diquis culture of Costa Rica, UNESCO World Heritage since 2014. Over 300 stone spheres ranging from a few centimeters to absolute monoliths. The largest, at the El Silencio site, measures 2.66 meters in diameter and weighs approximately 24 metric tons. They were manufactured between 500 CE and 1500 CE through exhaustive pecking with hammerstones, controlled thermal fracturing, and intensive abrasive polishing with sand and water. These are masterworks of geometric precision carved from gabbro, granodiorite, and limestone. And here's where the energy claims crash into thermodynamics. Fringe media constantly asserts these stones emit electromagnetic fields, piezoelectric charges, and anomalous thermal energy. So let's look at what the minerals actually do. Gabbro contains magnetite, which retains a passive remnant magnetic signature from the Earth's field when the magma originally cooled. That signature is measured in nanoteslas. It generates zero active wattage. Granite contains quartz, which is genuinely piezoelectric, meaning it generates a transient electrical charge when subjected to dynamic mechanical stress. But the key word is dynamic. Tectonic pressure, hammer impacts. A static sphere sitting in a field produces zero piezoelectric current. And even under extreme laboratory stress, piezoelectric energy harvesting from quartz yields between 35 and 1010 microjoules. Microjoules, not watts. If you CT scanned a Decoded sphere, you would find a solid, homogeneous mass with variable density nodes corresponding to different mineral grains and outer microfractures consistent with hammering. No fiber optics, no microspheres, no cosmic messages. Standard geology. If the gap between what the internet claims and what physics actually allows fascinates you, make sure you're subscribed and hit that bell. Because what Google's quantum chip can actually do is about to rewrite your understanding of computation itself. What Google's quantum computer actually does. Now let's talk about the real technology, because the real technology is legitimately mind-bending. On December 9, 2024, Google Quantum AI announced Willow, 105 superconducting transmon qubits, coherence times averaging 100 microseconds, roughly 5 times longer than the previous Sycamore chip, single qubit gate fidelity of 99.97%, 2-qubit gate fidelity of 99.88%, and the headline benchmark, Willow completed a random circuit sampling task in 5 minutes that would take the most powerful classical supercomputer on Earth 10 septillion years. That is a 1 followed by 25 zeros, longer than the universe has existed, by an almost incomprehensible margin. But the real breakthrough was not speed. It was error correction. Quantum states are absurdly fragile. The slightest environmental noise, a stray photon, a thermal vibration, destroys the computation. For decades, adding more qubits meant adding more errors. Willow reversed that equation. Using a surface code lattice, Google grouped physical qubits into logical qubits. As they scaled from 3x3 to 5x5 to 7x7 grids, the logical error rate dropped exponentially by a factor of 2 at each step. Below threshold quantum error correction, the holy grail of quantum computing, achieved for the first time. And then in October 2025, they went further. Google published a paper in Nature demonstrating verifiable quantum advantage using an algorithm called quantum echoes. It uses out-of-time order correlators on a 65-qubit subsystem to run a physical system forward, apply a perturbation, and run it backward to recover structural information about molecular systems. It executed 13,000 times faster than the best classical simulation on the Frontier supercomputer. This is extraordinary, this is real, and it has absolutely nothing to do with scanning ancient artifacts. The technology that could actually scan a sphere. Now here's where things get really interesting. There is a technology that could legitimately probe the atomic lattice of a stone sphere. It is not quantum computing, it is quantum sensing. And the distinction matters enormously. Quantum computing processes mathematical data. Quantum sensing physically gathers data by exploiting the extreme sensitivity of quantum systems to environmental changes. And the tools are stunning. Nitrogen vacancy center magnetometry uses a synthetic diamond with a specific atomic defect, a nitrogen atom paired with a missing carbon atom. When hit with a laser, it emits light whose intensity shifts in the presence of incredibly weak magnetic fields. We're talking single spin detection, nanoscale resolution, room temperature operation. In May 2025, physicists at Cambridge demonstrated that spin defects in two-dimensional hexagonal boron nitride can function as multi-axis room temperature sensors for nanoscale vectorial magnetometry, overcoming the single-axis limitation of traditional diamond sensors. Then there are quantum gravimeters. Using atom interferometry, these devices measure the gravitational acceleration of falling atoms to detect sub-microgal variations in mass and density underground. In November 2024, researchers from the Portuguese Quantum Institute successfully used quantum gravimeters in Lisbon to map hidden Iron Age and Phoenician ruins without ever breaking ground. They detected microscopic changes in gravitational pull to reconstruct buried architecture. If you pointed a quantum magnetometer array at a decreased sphere, it would map the microscopic alignment of every magnetite crystal inside the gabbro. It would let geologists pinpoint the exact quarry the stone came from by matching the magnetic signature to local tectonic history. It would reveal geology, not godlike geometry, but it would be real, verifiable, and scientifically extraordinary. The 100-watt lie and the thermodynamic wall. Now let's kill the biggest claim dead. The viral narrative asserts that the Buga Sphere produces a continuous energy spike of 100 watts. This number appears constantly, often attributed to a fictional MIT physicist or to an AI model like Grok 4. 100 watts is a familiar number. It is the resting metabolic output of a human body. It is a standard incandescent light bulb. Fringe media hijacked this recognizable metric and attached it to a passive metallic object to simulate scientific legitimacy. But here's the thermodynamic wall. For any object to output 100 joules per second continuously, It requires an internal active power source, chemical, nuclear, or kinetic. A passive metallic or stone sphere sitting in a field emitting 100 watts continuously without a fuel source is a direct violation of the first law of thermodynamics: conservation of energy. This is not debatable. This is not a matter of perspective. This is the foundational law of physics. And the escape routes that fringe theorists invoke are all dead ends. Zero-point energy extraction? Mainstream quantum mechanics acknowledges zero-point energy exists, but thermodynamic laws dictate that usable work cannot be extracted from the lowest energy state of a system. Torsion fields and scalar waves? Hypothetical constructs from 1980s Russian fringe science that contradict the Standard Model and general relativity and have never been experimentally observed. Negative mass models? A mathematical concept used in wormhole equations. No physical matter has ever exhibited negative mass. Orgone energy? Thoroughly debunked pseudoscience. Meanwhile, the genuine artifacts that get dragged into this ecosystem deserve better. The Antikythera mechanism is a real, extraordinary ancient Greek analog computer, and it aligns perfectly with known Hellenistic mathematics. The Klerksdorp spheres, constantly cited as manufactured metallic spheres, are natural wollastonite and pyrite concretions formed by volcanic metamorphism. The Dropa stones are a completely fabricated 1960s hoax. The anatomy of the hoax. Now see, what makes this particular hoax so effective is its timing. It is parasitically engineered to exploit real scientific breakthroughs. December 2024, Google announces Willow. Real quantum error correction, real below-threshold scaling, massive legitimate media coverage. March 2025, the Buga Sphere narrative launches. Fringe channels immediately appropriate the vocabulary. Quantum, decoded, internal structure. They attach Google's credibility to a completely unrelated object. October 2025. Google demonstrates verifiable quantum advantage with quantum echoes. Within weeks, viral videos claim Google's quantum computer decoded a godlike cosmic message inside the Buga Sphere. Late 2025 into 2026. Fabricated claims surface that MIT released X-ray scans showing a central processing component whose rare earth elements exactly match modern quantum computing materials. The playbook is always the same. A mundane event occurs. Scientific vocabulary is stripped of its mathematical rigor and appropriated. Random surface features are interpreted through pareidolia. And then fictitious institutional affiliations are injected into video titles to legitimize the claim. MIT released X-rays. Google decoded the matrix. Grok predicted a quantum cluster overheat. None of it is real. All of it is engineered to exploit YouTube's recommendation algorithm and your confirmation bias. And it works because the real science is genuinely awe-inspiring. Below-threshold error correction is a civilization-altering achievement. Quantum gravimeters mapping buried ruins without digging is borderline science fiction made real. But instead of celebrating these breakthroughs, the internet launders their credibility to sell fabricated alien artifacts.